Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my January beauty favorites, which is the first favorites video of 2019, which is crazy. So for the month of January, you guys know there have been new products launching left and right. So I have used and also tried out some of those new products. And some of the products, they were not in my everyday makeup stash for the month of January, but of course, I wanted to use them and try them out for the month, and some of them became my favorites for the month. So I have quite a few things to share. I do have some random things to share as well that's not like beauty related, but I'm really excited to share those products with you guys. So if you guys are interested in seeing all of the products, all of the things that I have been loving this past month of January, then let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing I want to share is actually a product or a thing that is not beauty related. It's not makeup, it's not skincare. And I had one of my subscribers mention to me, I think it was in my last beauty favorites video or the one before that. I know it was recent. I forgot which one it was, but they mentioned that they would love to see products or just things from me that I love that are not beauty related. So that way I can kind of, I guess, expand, just give you guys more things on my channel that's not all makeup, all skincare, all of the beauty, you know, the beauty stuff. So I thought that was a good idea because there are a lot of things in life that I love and I just don't really share them on my channel, and I thought it would be really good to start doing that for my favorites videos. So one thing that I have really been loving this past month is a book. One thing about me that you guys don't even know is I am I used to be the biggest bookworm. Like, I would go to the public library, even though there's a library in my schools, I would still find myself going to the public libraries like after school is over just to get a book. And that was during my childhood, of course, because I had an obsession with reading books all the way up to high school, some of college. I kind of fell off in college. I know I'm going off topic, but the book that I want to share with you guys today is called Morning Affirmations. Now, one thing that I wanted to work on for this year is something that I haven't really been good at doing this past year, and that is to wake up and not grab my phone, not get on social media. And then I also want to open up a book and just read something inspiring just to get my day going. So this is called Morning Affirmations. So this book is filled with just like a small paragraph that you would read every morning. I don't read like, you know, more than one page because it's just one page for each day. So every morning when I wake up, like I said, I pray, and then I'll go in this book and then I'll just read one paragraph for the day, and then, you know, follow up with another paragraph the next day and the next day and the next day. And I find with doing that just makes my day so much better, you guys. Like, it makes it so much freaking better just reading inspirational things and just starting out my day with a positive mind. And, you know, some of us, we have jobs, we have a 9-to-5, and there are times when we just don't want to go to our job because it's stressful. But I find that with reading this book, like reading a phrase every single morning, it helps me. It helps me to have a more positive outlook on the day. It just helps me a lot. So I've really enjoyed this book so far. I've started reading a page ever since January 1st. So I've been doing really good with just grabbing this every single morning and just reading a page before I start my day, before I get on my phone, before I get on social media. That's one thing that I have really been working on, is not being on social media every single day at the beginning of the day. So this helps, you guys. Like, this helps. I love this book. It's by Jennifer Williamson, and I got this from Barnes & Noble. So again, it's called Morning Affirmations, and I just been loving it. So I had to share that with you guys. Going into the beauty products, I want to share this this body exfoliator. This is by Dove, and it is their exfoliating body polish. And the scent is Kiwi Seeds and Cool Olay. So I grabbed this, I think it was actually the end of December, because I did go in CVS and I had to get a few things that I needed. And I saw that this was something that I've never seen before. And I'm pretty sure this has probably been out for a while. I just haven't seen it on the shelf, but this is what the inside looks like. As you guys can see, I have been going through this product like The reason why I like it so much is because, for one, it's really, like, I don't want to say really cold, but it is pretty cold here in Georgia. The air is dry, and it's important to exfoliate your skin, girl. Like, when it is dry and cold, you want to make sure that you're exfoliating so that way you can get the dead skin off your body. Like, it makes a huge difference when you exfoliate, and I love how this is super gentle. For one, like, the exfoliating beads, they're not too harsh. I just put them on my little rag, and then I just, you know, massage my body and just, you know, wash my body with this, because this is also a body wash. Like, it's an exfoliator and a body wash in one. So the scent is, like, it smells so freaking good. They have this, I think they have a shea butter scent, and then a cucumber one. But when I tell you, this makes my skin feel so freaking smooth after I get out of the shower, and it also doesn't dry my skin out. Like, when I get out of the shower, when I dry off, my skin feels really soft, smooth. Pretty much it just makes my body feel hydrated without it feeling like overly dried out after I get out of the shower. So I have definitely been loving this. So the perfume that I've been wearing this month, all month long, every single day when I go out, is the one by Victoria's Secret. This is in the fragrance Tease. I was about to say this is in the shade, but the fragrance is Tease, and this is one of my favorite perfumes from Victoria's Secret. If I ever go in there needing a perfume, I always lean towards this one. I'm horrible with describing scents. I'll let you guys know that now if you are new to my channel, but it smells really soft. It doesn't have a fruity scent. It kind of smells warm, sweet. I don't know. I'm horrible with describing scents, but it smells really good, really girly, but not too girly, like young girly. It's just a really nice everyday scent. It smells really good, and I get a lot of compliments when I wear this. But as you guys can see, I'm almost out. Once I finish this, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy, which is my all-time favorite perfume. I just got a new one for Christmas, so I want to go ahead and use this one up before I open up my new one by Juicy Couture. But yeah, definitely been loving this. All right, let's talk about some skincare really quick. And this is not going to be anything that I have not mentioned on my channel recently, but I want to talk about this because a lot of you have been asking me what skincare I've been using, because I have mentioning in my recent videos that my dark spots have been lining up, and it was because of the skincare that I use. And I don't think I mentioned what skincare it was. And like I said, a lot of you are just coming to my channel. You guys are new and you don't know what products I've been using. So the products that I have been using the past 2 months is Curology, and these are actually products that you guys suggested to me, and I just want to say thank you, because this stuff has changed my skin so much. Like, girl, I am lost with words. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a clip of one of my older videos. It was back in October or November. Not older, but it was kind of recent. This is before I started out with Curology, and I just want to go ahead and show you guys this clip of my skin. This was in a video where I was reviewing the ColourPop Stick Foundation, and I chose this video clip because this is the same video that some of you were suggesting Curology to me, and I was telling you guys what my skin was going through and all of that, and I had a lot of you telling me to try out Curology. So thank you again, because honestly, my skin has never looked or never improved as fast as it has with these products. So since I have been using Curology, I've been using the medication every single night. Like, there has not been one night that I skipped. I have been using this every single night. This is actually my second batch. The first time I got Curology, they were a little bit smaller, but I guess they were kind of like samples, but it lasted me a full month. And this size is supposed to last me the next 2 months. So yeah, I use the actual medication every single night. This is pretty much like a serum. And then I'll go on top of that with the moisturizer. It also comes with a cleanser, which I always use up the cleanser, not even 2-3 weeks out. But I've been using my Tata Harper cleanser for my cleanser every single day. And this is a cleanser for blemish prone skin. So this is gonna help those of you who have a lot of blemishes, breakouts, anything like that. This has been doing my skin wonders as well. This is my 3rd bottle. Crazy, yeah, I know, it's crazy, and this is pretty expensive. But the reason why I purchase it over and over is because this cleanser actually works. Like, I actually see improvement on my skin with this cleanser, and I just like using it with my Curology products as well because it doesn't really, you know, harm it or anything like that. I've been using these all month, all last month. My skin has improved, you guys. Like you guys saw in the clips, my skin has really, really, really improved. I have not experienced any breakouts during that time of the month. Nothing like that. Like, I feel like my skin is getting clearer and clearer and clearer as the days go by. And it just makes me so freaking happy, you guys. Like, it makes me happy. But that's the only skincare product that I wanted to share in today's video because those are pretty much the only ones that I have been using consistently, non-stop, all month long, all last month. I had to share those in today's video. But going into the makeup. So let's talk about some concealers. You guys know concealers have been coming out like crazy this month. Drugstore concealers, high-end concealers, like everybody has been coming out with concealers. And speaking of that, I had quite a few of you asking me when my Morphe complexion, you know, review is gonna go up, which it is coming, you guys. It's coming. I don't know when, but it's gonna be pretty soon. I actually have 2 more products from Morphe that are scheduled to be delivered tomorrow. So that kind of gives you guys an idea of what kind of video it's gonna be. But I'm gonna have that video up really soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this weekend. But anyway, concealers. I have tried out some drugstore concealers this month, as well as the new Fenty concealer, and that's all. So I want to update you guys on the e.l.f. This is the Camo concealer. I think I shared this in a video where I was doing like a full face of drugstore, but I told you guys I wanted to kind of throw it in my everyday makeup stash for this month and let you guys know my thoughts on the concealer in a later video. So that is what I'm about to do. This is a long wearing concealer, you guys. It is a little bit on the dry side, like a little bit. It's not too drying like Tarte Shape Tape, but it does kind of dry down matte. But this is a good full coverage concealer. Like, it is full freaking coverage. I'll go ahead and swatch it right here so you guys can see it. But this is the shade Deep Chestnut, and I like this also because it does not crease up under the eyes. It gives me a nice coverage. It looks really good on my skin, and it wears all freaking day. It's supposed to be a 16-hour wear concealer, which I haven't even worn it that long. The longest I wear my makeup is 8 hours because I do have an 8-hour shift. But if not 8 hours, it's probably pushing at least 10 hours because sometimes when I get off work, I don't immediately take my face off. But I would say the longest I'll wear my makeup during like the weekday is 10 hours. I like how I don't have to use a lot of the product because since it is a full coverage concealer, you don't have to use so much of the product. And the doe foot applicator is huge. It looks just like Tarte Shape Tape, just to kind of give you guys a comparison because I know a lot of us already know what Tarte Shape Tape is. We've already tried it out, but the applicator is huge, just like Tarte, and it goes on really creamy. And like I said, a little bit of this is going to go a very long way, so you don't have to use a lot of the product. But I do like how it applies. I like how it wears on my skin all day long, and I also like how it doesn't really crease under the eyes. So this is definitely one of the concealer that I have been loving. Another concealer that I've been wearing all month long is this one by Loreal, which I did a full review on this. If you guys want to see that review, I'll try to find it and have it linked down below. But this is the new L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. And just like the one by e.l.f., the applicator is huge, which is similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. It does have that big applicator. It does go on really creamy. And it also is a full coverage concealer as well. So I don't have to use a lot of this product just to give me that full coverage because it's going to give you coverage even though you use a little bit of the product. But this is what I have on today. I do have a full, I guess, tutorial on this. It's really not a tutorial video. It's actually like a review video, but I showed you guys how I created this look in that video. I don't know if it's already up. If it is up, I will have it linked down below in my description. But this one is just as full coverage as the one by e.l.f. The shades are a little bit different. The one by L'Oreal is a little bit darker than e.l.f., but they both look really nice on my skin. And if you guys, like I said, want to see these in action, I will have those videos down below. But these are definitely ones that I have been loving for not December, but January. Also, the one that I have been trying out this month is by Revlon. This is one of their newer concealers that I wanted to just kind of give you guys my thoughts on, because this is one that I threw in my everyday makeup stash as well, and I told you guys that I was going to follow up and let you guys know my thoughts. Now with this concealer, it's not as full coverage, even though it's kind of going on like it's a full coverage concealer, but this one you have to build up. It's not as full coverage as the ones by e.l.f. and L'Oreal. So if you want that extra coverage with this concealer, you're gonna have to build it up. So every time I applied this, once I started blending it out with my beauty blender, it sheared out. So it was kind of like there was not much product on the skin. So I did go in with a second layer just to kind of give me that extra coverage. But even after going in with a second layer, I noticed it did not cake up. Like there was no creasing, there was no separating, nothing like that. So I like how I can build this concealer up to where it doesn't look cakey and it doesn't look like it's creasing or anything like that. So I do like this. This is in the shade Nutmeg. My voice just cracked. And then I have the e.l.f. concealer in the shade Deep Chestnut. And then the L'Oreal concealer, this is in the shade Honey 415. Okay, so this last concealer I have to share is by Fenty. And this one I like as a foundation than I do as a concealer. And I did a full video on that if you guys want to see it. I did a review on the concealer, you know, worn as a concealer, and I also did a review on the concealer worn as a foundation. So if you guys want to see both of those videos, I will have them linked down below if you missed it. But I like this worn as a foundation than I do as a concealer. The reason why is because this looks so much more natural, so much more I guess skin-like as a foundation than the actual foundation. Like the foundation is good. So I use the shade 420 for the concealer, and I also use the shade 420 for the foundation. If I'm using the concealer under my eyes, I use the shade 390 or 385. So I do have videos on all three of these, the shades. If you guys want to see that, I will have it linked down below. But personally, and just to be completely honest with you guys, I've been liking the concealer better as a foundation instead of an under eye concealer. So I have been dipping into the other shades as my under eye concealers all month long as well, just to kind of see, you know, just kind of get my final thoughts on the concealer. And I don't like how it creases under my eyes really fast. Now I have noticed that I don't experience as much creasing if I use a very small amount of the concealer. It's just that if I use a small amount, I am gonna have to build it up because it's not like super duper full coverage. But yeah, I just like this worn as a foundation as opposed to a concealer because of the finish, how it looks. It just looks really good. And if you guys want to see that video, I will have it linked down below. So this month I've been using two primers together. And the reason why is because one is really hydrating and the other one is a matte foundation. Not a foundation, but a primer. So the hydrating primer is by Ulta Beauty. This is their coconut water face primer. Super hydrating, you guys. As I use this more and more, I realize this is actually really close to the Too Faced Hangover Primer. It's just that this one is more thick. It goes on thicker than the Too Faced Hangover Primer, but they both are really hydrating on the skin. It's just that this one is a little bit more thicker. But I've been using this one with the CoverGirl Full Spectrum Matte Ambition Primers. But I use this one for my T-zone, and then I use a hydrating primer for the rest of my face. So if you guys are new to my channel, I do have a normal to oily skin. I do have a very oily T-zone, and the rest of my face is pretty normal. So I like to use anything that's mattifying for my T-zone, and then the rest of my skin I'll use like a hydrating primer, or sometimes I'll still go on top of my entire face with a matte primer. But I've really been liking this one by Full Spectrum because it does keep my T-zone matte, and I do have a full 8-hour day at work, so I want to make sure that my T-zone is not super duper oily. I noticed when using this though is you have to let this sit a few minutes before applying your foundation. So I did not use that, like I did not do that. And now that I let this sit on the skin just a few minutes before applying my foundation, it makes a huge difference. And you can actually see it dry down to a matte finish as well, but it's not like drying or too tight or anything like that. It's a really comfortable matte finish, which I like. So this is one of those primers that I don't mind applying all over the face because it's not like a drying matte primer, but it is a matte primer. It's just that it's not drying on the skin. But definitely been loving this and this one together. So I've been using the Fenty powder all month long ever since I got it. I think this came out on the 7th, I believe. I think it was on the 7th. Correct me if I'm wrong. But ever since I purchased this, I have been using this non-stop. It went into my everyday makeup stash. I threw it into my everyday makeup drawer, so I have been using this as well as the other powders that I was kind of juggling between this month. But this one I find myself reaching for the most recently. I like how this one keeps everything in place. It is pretty matte, but it's not like drying matte. It's very comfortable on the skin. It's not like a super drying powder, which I like. This is actually what I have on my face right now. I know my nose is starting to look a little shiny. I do have some highlighter on my nose, so that is what's also helping the shine. But I have this under my eyes. I have it on my forehead. I also have it on my chin and a little bit down the bridge of my nose right here. I just like how it sets everything so flawlessly. It looks so beautiful on the skin. This is banana, but it's not like a super duper yellow powder, which I don't really care for, like those super duper bright yellow powders. This is more of a beigey looking color, but once you apply it on your skin, you don't really see the color. It's just kind of like a translucent powder, but this is what it looks like on the inside right there. So just like with the concealer, I also reviewed the powder too, so if you guys want to see that video, I'll make sure to have it down below. But this has been one of my favorite powders for the month of January, and honestly and truly, I feel like I want to actually throw it back into my everyday makeup stash for next month because I have been really loving this powder and I want to continue to use it. I also want to try out a different shade. A lot of you were telling me to try out, is it Honey? I think it was Honey. But I want to try that one out, and I also do have an upcoming video where I do a full face of Fenty, so stay tuned for that. So if I had to pick one eyeshadow palette that I have been loving all month long, that I have been using non-stop, and I know I put in like 3 or 4 different eyeshadow palettes in my everyday makeup stash for the month of January, but if I had to choose one out of all of those palettes that I have been absolutely loving so much, I would definitely choose the one by Julius Place. This is the Warriors 2, and this is an all matte palette, but you have shades in here that you can actually use for your face. So you can use, what I've been using is the one in the middle right here as my blush. Also this one at the end, this is really pretty as a blush. Also, the brown shade in here is really, really nice as a bronzer shade or a contour shade. So you can do more than just eye looks with this palette. You can use this on the face, which is why I have been really loving it for this month. And the shades in here blend out so freaking easy. They're like really, really nice matte shadows, and I have been obsessed with this palette, so had to share that. So I need to go ahead and mention this sponge in a favorites video because I honestly don't think I've ever mentioned it in a favorites video, but it's in every single one of my makeup tutorials, and that is the one by Sonia Kashuk. A lot of people always ask me what sponge I'm using when I'm doing my makeup tutorials, and it's always this one. This one you can get from Target. You can get one for $7, or you can get like a little 2-pack for $10. I always get the 2-pack because it's so much better to get 2 for $10 instead of 1 for $7. Every single time I go in Target, I find myself getting a pack of these because these are like the best freaking sponges, you guys. I use this side for my foundation. This is what it looks like when it's not damp. I always use a damp sponge to apply my makeup, but this is what it looks like when it's not damp. Once it's damp, it expands and it gets bigger, and it's just so much easier to use a bigger sponge to apply your foundation. It literally goes on in 2 seconds because the sponge is so big and it's so soft, and these are like the best sponges out there, honestly, in my opinion. In my opinion, don't come for me. So these next 2 products are lip products, and these are the ones that I reach for every single freaking day when I go to work. They're like the perfect everyday shade. You guys know I love an everyday lip. Love it. Honestly, I would never get tired of an everyday lip color because you can never go wrong with an everyday lip color. But the one I have is by Sephora. I think I made a mistake and said this one was from Ulta in one of my videos where I did in one of my videos where I did a makeup tutorial, but yeah, this one is by Sephora, and it is in the shade Authentic number R68. I think you can only see the number online, but in the store it does have, like on the display, it'll say Authentic, and this is, you know, just your typical mauve everyday color, and it is so creamy, super creamy, so pretty. I'm actually gonna go ahead and apply it on my lips right now. Even though I didn't have this on at first, my lips are starting to wear off, so let's go ahead and apply. Perfect mauve everyday lip that I just throw on every single day when I go to work. Love how creamy they are. I'm almost out already because I've used it every single day this month, but I had to mention that one because this one is definitely one of my favorite lipsticks for the month. And this next product is a lip gloss. This is by Morphe in the shade Pixie. I think this was in my favorites video last month. Was it? I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember, but this one is a perfect everyday color as well. Perfect paired on top of the lipstick that I have on. It just gives you that extra shine because I feel like they're both pretty much the same color. It's just that the gloss is a little bit more lighter, which I'll go ahead and swatch it really quick so you guys can see it. Honestly, I feel like this was in my favorites video last month. It's okay. That just tells you guys how much I love the gloss, but this is what it looks like right here. Such a pretty everyday color, and it's not sticky. It's very creamy, and it's just good. So get it. All right, you guys, so that is all of the products that I have been loving, that I have been obsessing over all month long in January. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there was anything that I shared in today's video that you guys have already tried out, anything you like, anything you dislike, or if there was any products that I didn't even share in this video that you guys love for the month of January, let me know. So let's go ahead and chit chat down below in the comments. And I think that is all that I have. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you thumbs it up. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.